Welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've finally got another pickups video for you here. It's been pretty slim out there, plus combined with the fact that I was actually out of my city recently and was out in the country visiting family and friends and things like that. I didn't really get a chance to get out there, do much thrifting or hunting for games, things of that nature. So this was a little bit of a hiatus from looking for stuff. Now, of course, this last week I've been back sort of for a week from that, so I've got a few things that I found this week. It's been pretty dry out there, and I've seen a lot of people at the same time that I'm there looking through the video games, picking out video games and stuff like that. Nothing I really wanted did I see people picking up, but I saw people picking up a lot of things that I probably would leave behind. So I'm wondering, what exactly their plan is with it. For instance, I saw someone pick up a copy of Odama for the GameCube, and I know that this place probably charges at least like $5, $6 for GameCube games, and that one there, I mean, it's not really worth that unless it has like the microphone stuff, but it's just game only. So I don't know what people are thinking when they're picking up those things. You could probably get them maybe not cheaper on eBay, but I'm sure they could find better deals for games like that. And I saw other people picking out some original Xbox titles that are only like $1 or $2 games, and they're paying $5 for them. So I don't really get it what people are doing out there, but they seem to be picking up just about anything and everything that's out there. That being said, there's a lot of stores that are just filled with a lot of junk titles recently. Haven't really seen a whole ton of quality. That being said, I'm going to show you some quality that I found this week, which I'm pretty happy with. Especially the last few items are pretty impressive. So let's get started on it right now. The first thing I want to show you is actually my Colossal Mistake, and I'll just get that out of the way. Someone on a Facebook group actually posted a couple of Wii U Pro controllers, and I didn't really examine it very well. I mean, they did put a picture there. I didn't really look at it clearly, and I was sort of in a rush, so I was like multitasking and stuff like that. You shouldn't be doing when you're doing this stuff, but that's what I was doing. It's my own mistake. I just took it at face value that there were a couple of Pro controllers and the person was unloading them, and when I went to pick them up, I noticed after the fact, like I already paid them or whatever, I noticed after the fact that they were actually knockoff controllers. My own fault, not a fault of theirs, because they didn't list them as like, legitimate ones or whatever you like to call it. Just my mistake. The deal was $25 for 2 controllers, so I kind of jumped on it, not realizing what I was getting myself into. Still, that being said, I mean, these controllers probably go for about $20 each, like with shipping and everything like that. But they're Wii U Pro controllers that are, made in China kind of thing. They're knockoff versions. They're not as sturdy as the regular ones. You can hear like kind of like shakes around a little bit. But, the buttons feel pretty decent. The bumper buttons are, probably not as nice as the original ones. But the thing that should have really told me that is the regular ones say Wii U right here, and I didn't even like think to look at that. I mean, I saw a picture of it. I'm not really familiar with all the hardware for the Wii U, so I didn't really notice it. I kind of thought that there should be like after the fact. I was like, wait a minute, and then I saw the back of it, and it's absolutely like stock, nothing there. And there's always a sticker on the back of legit controllers, saying like model numbers and things of that nature, whatnot, and this doesn't have it. So there's 2 of these though. Pretty decent shape, needs to be cleaned. Said that they were barely used, but there's quite a bit of buildup on one of them at least. So I don't know how she figures those weren't really used, but they seem pretty tight and everything. So I'll use them for the time being until I can get my hands on some legit ones for a decent price. Thought that's what I was getting here, but didn't realize what I was getting myself into. So $25 for the 2, not too bad, I guess. Moving on from there, I got a couple of items today just because they're somewhat game related, but they're not actually games. I'll show them right now. The first thing is a McDonald's Nintendo toy from, I think this is from 2006. Yeah, 2006. And what it is, and I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but it's Yoshi here, and then what you have is a ball kind of put the ball in his mouth and you hit the paddle and you try to catch the ball. It's just like a little game, but it's a Yoshi character doing that, so thought I would get that guy. And then also there's a squeezy kind of ball that you can throw with Mario. So I got those. They were 50 cents each in this like big bin of a bunch of different McDonald's toys. So I just sort of sifted through, found these two guys, and thought I would pick them up today. So $1 for the two of them, pretty good deal. I'll probably end up reselling them. I don't really have a lot of space down here for decoration and stuff like that. It's mostly this is the decoration down here, is the games up on the wall. So that's that. Moving on. This was a pretty cool find. Went into a Value Village. Nothing else really there for me. A few overpriced things, not really interested in them. But this here was, somewhat interesting to me, so I went for it. It's Final Fantasy X. This is the soundtrack, and I think this came from Korea or something like that, which is kind of weird. But those are not Japanese, like symbols or whatever you like to call it. It's not, their writing right there. So I think this is Korean, but has English on it, so whatever though. It's totally complete. It has like this cool, and I'll show you like everything that's in here. The thing that is missing from this is it actually has a slip cover, which isn't on there, but whatever. So it has, like this is the insert inside. Pretty neat, like lots of artwork, beautiful pictures, really clear, really crisp looking, but they're all from the game. So kind of neat, and it has like the song lists and lots of artwork, kind of cool. There's actually a poster, which I'll show you in a second, which is of this, but it's bigger. So pretty neat. Something at the back there, but you can see, hopefully that doesn't mess anything up, but you can see there that I think that's some sort of Korean script or something. I'm not really sure about that. You can let me know if you're an expert in those kind of things, but that's what it looks like to me. So that's pretty cool, but most of it's in English, and tunes on it, if there's lyrics, made sense to me, so pretty cool. For that there, it was $4. I thought it was a pretty good find. Like I said, though, it's missing its slip cover, but that's the only thing that's missing from it, from as far as I can tell. Moving on from there, I stopped in at a Goodwill. This is on a different day, and picked up a copy of Scarface for the original Xbox. I already have this in my collection. I'll have to see if mine's like complete or whatever you like to call it. This one is, so that's pretty nice. I think mine is as well. This is basically just something I'm going to resell because I paid $5 for it, but usually I think this goes for around 20 or so. So I'll be able to recoup some costs with that. I probably won't charge 20 for it, but that's what it says, on eBay and whatnot. Moving on, I also picked up at the same time a copy of iNinja for the GameCube. Didn't have this in the collection. I had it on the original Xbox, but I do like collecting for the GameCube, so that's pretty cool right there. This one here, though, what really turned me on about it is the game's in there, but you can see the manual's something different. It's actually Smash Brothers manual. So on one hand, it's a bad thing that iNinja manual is not in here, so it doesn't make this complete. But Smash Brothers manual is pretty good. You can just see it's like a little dog-eared right here. It's bent corner or whatever. But when I find copies of Smash out in the wild, that'll help me out, because oftentimes when I find it, it doesn't have the manual in it, so I'll be able to do that, and meanwhile iNinja can go into my collection, so kind of neat there. Moving on, also stopped in at a Tully's, and they always charge $5 for their games, at least the ones I go to, or the one I go to. I picked up this Capcom Classics Collection Reloaded, so it's pretty cool. It's got like, let's see what's on here. There's a ton of different games, but 1942, 1943, Street Fighter 2, different versions I think of Street Fighter 2 as well. Ghosts and Goblins, Commando, Echo Fighters, King of Dragons, and Knights of the Round. So really wanted to get to like Knights of the Round, stuff like that. Obviously the arcade version is going to be superior, I would think, to the Super Nintendo version. The Super Nintendo version is ridiculously expensive, as far as I can tell. So that's pretty cool right there, to be able to get that on PSP. And the good thing about that is I'm able to play my PSP on the larger size screen on the television or whatever, so really nice to be able to do that. Moving on from there, at the same location on a different day, I picked up a copy of Super Mario Galaxy. Again, this is for flipping because I already have this in my collection, but again, this is $5 and pretty cool because it is factory sealed and everything like that, so should be able to get a little money back for recouping some costs here, so that's pretty neat all around. Moving on though, I got a couple of cartridge things here, which is kind of nice. I haven't really seen a lot of cartridge games out there, but I already have this one in my collection. Again, I'll probably just break even on this deal, but I get to keep the one thing that I really want from this. It's the Adventures of Lolo for the NES. I paid $10 for this, well $9.99 with tax, so a little more than $11 for this. That's basically what it goes for, but I'll end up flipping it and it'll give me something else to have at my table, you know, when I go to swaps and stuff like that, because the Waterloo swap was just announced coming up on September the 20th, so I'll, you know, be able to have something out. This might actually be an upgrade from the one I have. I'll have to check. Label seems pretty mint on it and everything like that, so I'll have to check it against mine, but still cool nonetheless. And I need a lot of these sleeves. You can see my shelf behind me, there's probably like 60% of it is sleeveless, and I really want to get them all sleeved, so that's pretty cool right there. I can use that sleeve at least for myself. And then the next thing that I found, also $10, was a copy of Tetris complete in the box. I don't want to say complete in the box, actually with the box, because what's in there is just the cartridge, which is in really awesome shape. Just get that out here. I mean, it's in absolutely like perfect shape. It's like pretty much pristine. So I'll probably replace the copy that I have and put the used copy I have in there, but nice looking copy of it. Also, the box doesn't have like the styrofoam or anything like that, no manual. But I think I might have an extra manual for this. I'm not totally certain about that. But, you know, even if I don't, I'll still be able to flip that. Probably get my money back on it, but just wanted to rescue it again. Helps me to fill up my table when I'm, you know, selling at a swap meet or whatever, something like that. Might be able to make a couple bucks off of it, but basically that's what it goes for, especially in the shape that this one's in, because it's a little bit ripped up here, like that tab's been pushed in, a little wear down here. Someone's taped at the bottom, I think probably because that bottom flap has a couple of, it has a couple rips in it, so it wasn't able to tuck in nicely, so I'll have to clean that up a little bit, but still cool nonetheless. You don't really see a lot of cartridge stuff out there, so figured I would pick it up. I left a copy of Mario Duck Hunt behind though. Moving on from that, this was probably, I think, the best find of the week. You tell me though. It's a Game Boy Color. The berry color of it is totally complete in here. As far as I can tell, I don't really have a boxed. This is my first boxed Game Boy Color system. So there it is right there. Screen needs to be cleaned. It looks pretty decent. It's not in bad shape. The back is a different story though. It seems like it's a little like faded or worn or something. I don't really get. I mean, I can understand. I guess people are doing this and they got their hands all over it. It might cause that to happen, but you'd think there'd be more wear on the screen then. But it totally powers on. It actually had batteries in it, which is, you know, kind of nice. So pretty cool right there. And inside also is the manuals and everything like that, all bagged still, so that's pretty awesome right there. The box is in pretty decent shape, maybe a few like wear on the corner or whatever, stuff like that, but for the most part, like really good shape. So that was a pretty amazing find, I thought. That one there was $19.99, so 20 bucks, but still pretty good find, I would think, for the week. That sort of caps everything off. Like I said, not exactly the most prosperous week ever, but still happy to find things when I can, especially cartridge-based things. Those are really becoming harder and harder to find in the wild as far as the thrift shops go. That are getting snatched up really quickly, or they're just not showing up at all. So that's everything I got to show you this time around. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.